We got $300 invested in this entire thing at this point, and a lot of labor.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the StealthBuilt channel with Ryan and Sam. We're going to do another Q&A. You guys seem to really love the one about the Audi, so we're going to do one of the other projects that is very popular on our channel, which is the chassis swap conversion from the International to the van body. And some of them are kind of controversial because in the comments, people are kind of swinging for the fences on the number one question. Are you ready, Sam?
I'm ready.
All right. First off, why in the world did you not just unbolt the body and pull it off? Why did you have to cut it all up?
We have got that question a lot of times, and the original plan was to leave the firewall and leave a section of the floor. That way we didn't have to rework all of those areas, because if you leave that stuff, you know, you leave the dashboard, you leave where the steering's mounted, you leave where the pedals are mounted, you leave where the floor and all the things that bolt in are mounted, then everything else is just a bloop. You drop that cab on there and everything's good, right? But if you have to remove all that stuff, now you have a bunch of loose parts, the throttle, the brake assembly, like all of that stuff that you have to mount into your new firewall and your new floor. So I was trying to prevent doing all of that. Now, when we ended up mounting that cab on there, the shapes just didn't match up at all. Like, there was absolutely no way that dashboard was fitting down inside of there without really hacking it up. And then you're getting into where the fuse panels are and the wiring and the air conditioning system and all this stuff. So as we slowly cut it back, you can see in the video, we started with a bigger chunk and we cut it back and we cut it back and we cut it back. And before you know, there was no body left, there was no floor left, and there was no firewall left. And that's because we were trying to save that stuff to save us a little time. In the end, we figured out, hey, it's not going to work. And so all of those parts that we took off either went to the scrapyard or they got sold on Marketplace. So we ended up making all of our money back on that van. I know a lot of people were actually upset that we cut that body
Why'd you
apart.
not save it?
Yeah, why didn't you save it? There's all kinds of vans out there that need a body. Well, there's nobody out there swapping van bodies. That's why we didn't save it. I would have sat with that thing sitting outside for years.
Was the International van chassis swap finished, or what's the next part that's coming?
I would put it at about 85, maybe a little higher percentage of finished. There's only a couple things left to do on it. We still have a video to release, which probably, I don't know if it'll be out before this is out, but we have a video to release where we finish up the bed. We install the intake and a few other things that we had to modify from being a van into kind of being this new truck. So the very last video is going to be us doing the wiring and taking this thing for a test spin.
Ironically enough, you kind of jumped into one of the other questions here, which is what are you doing for wiring? So is it a painless wiring kit? Did you borrow wiring from the International piece, or is it 100% going to be just utilizing the factory van wiring?
Yeah, one of the nice things about doing a swap like this is if it has the original wiring, there's no reason you can't keep that. And so we decided, let's use that factory harness, let's cut out the things we don't need, and everything else will work just fine because it did before.
Next question. Front end alignment. Are you going to narrow the front fenders, or how are you going to kind of handle like wheel fitment? You know, I assume that you're going to get, different wheels for it, or maybe you are going to use the same stock wheels. I actually don't know the answer.
So the Loadstar body is a really, really wide body because these were meant as farm tools for the most part. You know, this truck was a dump bed truck. And they have a super, super wide axle because they're almost like a semi-truck axle. I'd say more like a box truck.
Yeah.
So like a box truck axle, really wide. So no matter what chassis, if it's any kind of a modern truck or van or anything like that, if it's not, say, like a step van, or a box truck chassis, you're going to need to do something about that because none of them are wide enough. So we weren't worried about that when we started. It's actually better that it's narrow because we can fix that with either wheels, or we can fix that with spacers, we can fix that with different, steering geometry, whatever. But in this case, it's not so far out that we can't add a nice like deep dish wheel or a big offset wheel to fill that gap. I think it'll actually end up turning out really cool. What we need to decide is what those wheels are, because we still haven't picked out wheels.
Yes. All right, so our next question is about the powertrain that's in the unit. But is it a 5.3 liter or is it a 6.0? What's in there?
Yeah, the engine in this van is a 6.0 gas motor LS platform, but it's the van version of the LS platform. And then it's got an automatic transmission. And this is a 3/4 ton chassis and suspension also.
I know, obviously, we're not lawyers or anything else, so there's different, rules for different states on registering and titling a vehicle and stuff. But when you do a chassis swap like this, what is it going to be registered as? Is it going to be registered as the International, or is it going to be registered as the van?
Well, to be honest, that is a question that in your area, I have no idea what you would do with it. So we will be titling it as what it looks like, so that makes sense to the authorities if we were ever in the situation where we would get pulled over or something like that. It doesn't look suspicious because it's not. We also do have the title work and everything from the van, so we will be keeping all of that in our name also, so that if there ever was a question and they wanted to check VIN number on the chassis or engine versus, what our paperwork is, we have all those legal documents to prove ownership of it.
Yeah, but generally, rule of thumb, when anybody does a chassis type of swap, generally you're doing a chassis swap because you love the body of something.
Right.
Whether you're trying to build a resto mod where you want to put an old 67 Mach 1 body or regular Mustang on top of a new modern Mustang, you want to try to keep whatever the VIN number is, because that's the thing that's got the value that you're trying to actually switch for. Next up, we're going to talk about steering and suspension. So how are you handling the steering linkage, and are you using just the full stock suspension, or are you planning on putting airbags or anything on it?
So as of right now, we're trying to get this thing to run and drive. So I'm not going to mess with any of the suspension right now, but I know Allison wants to be able to slam this thing. So it will have air suspension in the future, which will also soften up the ride a little, because this weighs substantially less than the original van chassis that was on it. The original van body that was on it. So we will be putting air suspension on it in the future. The steering and all that stuff is factory stock. The only thing we had to do was modify the link from the actual steering column to the steering box, as we had to move some of that to make the steering column mount in the International body.
Yeah, same thing with the pedals and stuff. So
yeah, some of that's been shuffled around and moved, but it's all the factory stuff. It's just been mounted into the new truck, the new truck body.
We're coming down to the last couple of questions here, but one of them that we've gotten the most is, what was the budget for this build? Was it intended to be a budget build, or was it intended to be, you had an exact amount that you wanted to spend, that wasn't dirt cheap that we're looking for?
The van that we bought was pretty much free by the time we sold the doors. We sold a bunch of interior pieces. We sold the shelving units that were in the van and a bunch of the things that came with the van. We sold all of that stuff to pay for the van. And so the chassis that it's sitting on now is free. So the only things that we have really invested money into have been the aftermarket things that we've had to buy to, make things work.
Yeah, some steel that's going to be
some steel.
Next episode.
There's some lighting and some things like that, and then some specialty hoses and cables and things like that. But for the most part, the whole entire build right now at this point has been free.
Minus, do you remember what you paid for the International chassis itself?
Yeah, so I bought that as a running, driving truck for $300. So we got $300 invested in this entire thing at this point, and a lot of labor.
Yeah, which is going to be one of my questions is how much labor do you think you have invested in this, from start until now?
A lot more than I thought it was going to be. And that's because, like I said, when we started this, I was hoping just to cut the firewall and the floor out of the original truck and drop it down on there and weld that thing back together and just be driving this thing in 5 days. That didn't happen because none of this stuff fit, and it's really hard to know if it fits until you strip off all the things that you don't need, and that's when you decide, hey, where are we going with this? And you're interested in some StealthBuilt swag, go to stealthbuilt.com and you can pick up some of this. That's what supports us and helps us do these builds, as well as, do it just hitting the like button. If you guys don't want to spend the money to buy a shirt, that's okay. Do us a favor, hit the like button, hit a follow, hit a subscribe, share it with a friend. That means the world to us, because that's how we can do these builds, because it does take a lot of our time to do them.
Yeah, and if we missed one of the questions that you guys have us answer, please put it in the comments below. Like, subscribe, follow, and check us out on the next one.
Yep, we'll see you there.